As noted historian Ariel Reuter once wrote, if the Sol system is the Empire's heart, and Terror is its head, then Ferron is the blood coursing through its veins. When the system was discovered in 2460, few could have predicted how vital Ferron would be in driving the economy and expansion of humanity's burgeoning empire for decades, or how far it would eventually fall from its former glory. Ferron was discovered by Pali Laumet, one of the founding members of the Sol Astro Exploration Society. Composed of extremely affluent adventurers who dedicated themselves to the search for new star systems, the SAS can be linked to many jump point discoveries of the time. Laumet had been sailing the expanse of Crowshaw for several months already, and low on supplies with a restless crew, was days away from having to return to Sol when his stoker, Darcy Ferron, noted that their quantum drive fuel calculations were off. Laumet, double-checking the figures, surmised that the extra burn-off was due to the pull of an unmarked jump well. Sure enough, 2 days later, the crew would become the first humans to jump to the system that Laumet graciously named after the perceptive Darcy, and upon his return, in the tradition of SAS, gifted the coordinates of the system as a philanthropic donation to humanity. After initial government surveys were complete, the system was declared an ideal candidate for settlement and opened to the public. Corporate and private interests sped to the system, eager to stake their claim. The ensuing battle for land and mineral rights grew so unruly that the UNE intervened and established a lottery to help arbitrate the disputes. After the first drawing took place, a myriad of loopholes and flaws were uncovered that had given some parties and companies unfair advantages, which took years to be sorted. The government's failed attempts at mediation served to highlight both the impotence and inefficiencies of the UNE as it struggled to cope with humanity's rapid expansion. Some historians theorise that the bureaucratic failings during Ferron's lottery fanned the flames of reform that eventually led to the dissolution of the UNE and the formation of the UPE in 2523. Despite its troubled start, Ferron was already on the fast track to prosperity due to its wealth of natural resources. Before long, it was a bustling hub of mining and trade, and in 2529, the system achieved represented status within the UPE. Centuries of success followed as the system provided the materials necessary for humanity to conquer the stars. In its heyday, Ferron's population had grown enough to rival that of Sol, and it was well on its way to becoming a political equal as well. But sadly, the system's success would not last. The first reverse of fortunes occurred in 2791, when Messa XI falsely accused the system of being home to dissidents. Fearful of the Imperator, numerous wealthy citizens and Messa loyalists fled the system, taking large amounts of funds and clout with them. When the eventual military strike did come, it was only thanks to the legendary bravery of the members of Squadron 78 and their heroic unwillingness to kill civilians that major violence was avoided, but by then, the economic and political damage to Ferron had already been done. The next blow would occur in 2832, when Shubin Interstellar announced profit losses for the first time ever in the system. The mining conglomerate cited the depletion of a major mine as the cause and noted that more site closures were expected to follow. This would prove to be Ferron's death knell. Years of aggressive mining had taken its toll, and the system by this time had been nearly picked clean. As fast as its rise to prominence had been, Ferron's fall from grace would be even faster. Within a single decade, the population of the system dropped by nearly half, and its economic health dropped even lower. Today, it is only a shadow of its former glory, the bones of a vibrant system that bled itself dry of resources for the good of the Empire. While Ferron is far from an ideal destination for the casual traveller, the system has drawn its fair share of visitors attracted by its historical significance, as well as more adventurous prospectors hoping to find some remnants of valuable ore that may have been overlooked. This dwarf planet sits closest to Ferron's main star. Uninhabitable and lacking in resources, only the scientific community gives Ferron 1 much thought due to the unusual and so far unexplained variance in its magnetosphere. In any other system, this coreless planet would be just another dead world, but in the Ferron system it was a disappointment. Ferron 2 lacked both easily accessible minerals and the right conditions for terraforming, which thrust it into the shadow of its resource-rich neighbour, Ferron 3. However, tough times in Ferron have caused people to give the planet a second look. Many are hopeful that new advancements in mining technology may eventually lead to the planet being able to turn some kind of profit. Once considered the system's crown jewel, the vast reserves of valuable ores and minerals that were discovered during Asura's terraforming process made it an economic and political powerhouse. During this extended economic boom, little thought was given to what would become of the world if the mines ever did run dry and only minimal secondary industries were established. Asura was a mining planet to its core, and for nearly 400 years, every shred of planetary resource was dug up, harvested, refined, and shipped away until there was nothing left. Depleted into a shell of the planet's former glory, the people descended into poverty. Nowhere is this better represented than in the rapidly deteriorating and crumbling infrastructure of the once great city, Tram. With most of Asura's land set aside for mining, the stunning industrial megalopolis of Tram became the planet's financial and cultural centre. Large factories, refineries, and housing developments were interspersed with beautiful public parks. Now, life in Tram is considerably harder. Today, the city is mostly shuttered and abandoned, and its skies are a near-permanent grey from all the toxins that have been carelessly pumped into the atmosphere by heavy industry. Water is in constant demand as most of the natural supply has been equally contaminated. And as for the population that does remain, while some civilians still eke out a living with repair or refueling stations, criminal enterprise has surpassed any legitimate business as the main industry. Visitors should be cautious when moving around the city, as an ongoing police strike has considerably increased the chances of being accosted, particularly when entering the city's parks, now a hotbed of illegal activity. Those looking for deals should visit one of the planet's mining superstores where equipment sits gathering dust. Remember to take a trusted friend, co-worker, or hired guard along. Criminal elements have been known to target guests who make significant purchases at local establishments. The swirling surface of Ferron 4 is a beautiful sight that pilots have learned to enjoy from a safe distance. The gas giant's thick layer of metallic hydrogen behaves as a giant electrical conductor, which can be severely problematic for a ship's sensitive avionics. Bands of outlaws have been known to lurk on the fringes of the electrical field, waiting to prey upon malfunctioning ships.
The giant ape climbed the skyscraper, swatting at helicopters that harassed him. You look up at the massive 50-foot creature of muscle and hair. He's got you firmly in his grasp. Any more pressure and you'd snap like a twig. He brings you to his mouth, and then you realise you should have got yourself nordvpn.com/BoredGamer. It would have provided you security and anonymity, preventing the great ape from finding you, but also accessibility to some of your favourite shows. Check out the links below for a massive discount and to help support the channel. Do you like using your eye holes for extra immersion in Star Citizen and help aim and do some cool stuff? Well, you can with Tobii Eye Tracker 5, which is on sale at the moment. This gives you native high-precision head and eye tracking in Star Citizen. Very cool for general immersion, for combat both in ship or on foot. They are absolutely fantastic pieces of kit, and both Zin and I have one. Use the links below to grab one for 15% off or to find out more. Talking about supporting the channel, you can help by pressing that join button under my videos or even becoming a Patreon with the links below again. That goes a long way to helping us make daily Star Citizen content. A massive thank you to everyone that does that already or supports the channel in other ways like commenting, liking and sharing videos. We are just about to hit 200,000 subscribers, which is awesome, seeing we are a niche Star Citizen dedicated channel. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For January 2024, we are giving away a Drake Corsair. This is a very popular multi-role, multi-crew explorer ship that is very good at a huge range of stuff in the verse. It also comes with lifetime insurance and a game package, all you need to play Star Citizen, and all you need to do to be in for a chance of winning that is comment on any of my videos made during this month. More details in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out my channel and other videos on there as well, and I'll see you in the verse.